You're asking me if people can change their lives. Of course they can change their lives. Lots of people change their lives. It's a click in the mind. That click in the mind, it's sometimes blocked. You want to change, but it's blocked. It's blocked because of programs that you have in your subconscious mind that direct you, that control you, and that allowed you to do certain things and not other things. People think, okay, I have a job, I have 2 kids, I have a wife, or I have a husband. How am I going to change my life? I need to pay my mortgage, I need to do certain things that I've been doing for a long time, and I can't imagine doing them in a different way. Well, that's the problem, you see. The problem is that we think sometimes that in order to change our life, we have to change everything. We have to give up our jobs. We have to get divorced, or we have to go and live in another country, and it's not so. You can do all those things, lots of people do them. But you can also go to the same job, and you can have the same partner, and you can have the same type of life, and still you can change it. And you change it by the way you look at things, and you change it by the way that you let things affect you in one way or another way. And that's how we use SAAMA. So you see, SAAMA, they think that SAAMA, most people think that SAAMA is just a healing technique. It's a technique that you find someone from your own family, your own, your loved ones, that has a problem, a health problem, a mental problem, and any sort of problem, and then you can help them. Or you're a professional and you have clients that come to you because of health situations or coaching or whatever, and then you can help them. Yes. Lots of people do that. That's the way SAAMA is known. But SAAMA is more than that. People that do the workshop end up understanding that SAAMA is something bigger than that. Because what it does, it shows you that we are all connected. It shows you that we are connected to this divine matrix. It shows you that you are working, thinking and reacting to the world because of certain programs. It allows you to change your programs. It allows you to talk to spaces, to talk to animals, to talk to plants, to talk to the universe, to ask questions and get answers. And you start feeling connected to this divine matrix. You start feeling that you're not lonely anymore, that you are part of something that is huge, and that you are connected to this hugeness, to this oneness. And then your life starts changing. You start changing the way you look at things, the way you believe at things, and the way you react to things. And the healing part, it's extremely important, and it's extremely useful. But it's only one part of the whole SAAMA thing. The SAAMA thing, okay? It's the understanding that you belong to something that is very, very, very big. And this big thing is waiting for you to get in touch, to ask for things, to help you. It's there waiting to help you change your life. And the way you change your life is by changing the way you look at life. The change is always inside, never outside. It's SAAMA difficult to learn? No, it's extremely easy. It's very easy to learn. Okay, it's like a computer, okay? They give you a computer and you learn how to use the mouse, and you learn how to click on the mail icon or how to get into internet and look for something. Once you learn that, once you understand how easy it is, then you use a computer. Now you can use a computer just to write a letter, or you can use a computer to create huge things. It's the way you use this computer, it's up to you, okay? But SAAMA is exactly the same. It's very, very easy to learn. We teach you how to use the mouse, and we teach you how to click into the mail icon. And then what you do with it, that depends on what you want from life. Now, there are people who think it can't be this easy, and they block their minds because they have been taught that things in life have to be very, very difficult, that you have to go to university and do a very stressful career for 5 years or whatever, and then because it was difficult, then when you apply it to things, then you get results, and then you think, yes, I got these results because it was very difficult and I learned how to do it. But life is easier than that. Extremely easy. SAAMA, you learn it in 1 weekend. Or you do the online course, it doesn't matter. Okay? And once you have learned how to talk to life, how to talk to this divine matrix, then everything becomes extremely, extremely easy. Of course, when you move the mouse in your computer and you do things with the computer, it's easy for you. But obviously, behind the scenes, what's happening inside the computer is extremely difficult to understand because it needs a lot of programming and a lot of experience and a lot of technical information, technical data, etc., etc. But you don't really care about that. All you want to do is move the mouse and go and see if you have an email from someone. Well, it's exactly the same with SAAMA. If you start thinking, but how can this be possible? How is this something that I can understand? Well, of course, you're going to get bogged down with all this information. You don't need that. All you need to do is connect to your higher self, ask for information, receive information, modified information, and start looking at life in a new paradigm. You belong to this world, and this world, it's extremely, let's say, complicated behind the scenes, but it's extremely easy on the desktop. Okay? So all I want you to do is to learn how to use the desktop of this computer. This computer that we're talking about, it's you. You are the most powerful computer in the whole world. Your mind, it's the most powerful software ever created. And you can learn how to use the power of this software, the power of this computer, just by learning how to move the mouse from one place to the other and how to click and how to open certain programs. When you do that in your computer, you open Excel or you open, whatever, PowerPoint or whatever. SAAMA is exactly the same. We will teach you how to move the mouse, how to click on a particular icon on your desktop, and then miracles will happen. And then you will have like this blank sheet of paper in front of you where you can write the life that you want to have. It's fantastic. Yeah, a lot of techniques, a lot of healing techniques, energetic healing techniques in the world that work fantastically well. Some work very, very well for certain areas of people's lives, and then others work for others. SAAMA works in all of them because we have a physical body. We believe that we have a physical body, and we have emotions, and then we have all of spiritual being inside, and then we have our mind, and we are built up out of all these different layers. And SAAMA just gets into all these different layers and works perfectly well. And it doesn't need updating. It's because that's the program. It's all there is. So as you grow in your mind, as your mind expands and grows, as you apply the I know no limits, which is like the motto of SAAMA, I know no limits. As you start applying I know no limits, you go deeper and deeper, and you do better and better things. And it grows with you because SAAMA is the software inside you, so it's limitless. There's no end to it. So you can grow and grow and grow and grow, and you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to update anything. You don't need to learn new programs. It's learning one, and then you have control over your whole life. Now, that is a very good question. That is a very good question. We don't know if people make that click inside their minds where something changes inside them, and that is why they reach SAAMA. Or do they change because they reach SAAMA? It's a gray area. Maybe it's both things, because we have heard so many people who didn't know anything about SAAMA, and they get into YouTube and they start looking, watching different videos from different people, and then suddenly a SAAMA video appears, and they look at it and they say, wow, this is what I want to do. And they get into the workshop, and when we find them there, we ask them, how did you get here? And they said, well, I was watching, Formula One racing in YouTube, and then a video of SAAMA came up, and I looked at it and I felt something, and then I inscribed into the course, and here I am. And you say, okay, but do you know what SAAMA is? No, I have no idea. I just knew I have to be here. It's amazing. That is a miracle, and it happens in every workshop, and it happens to lots and lots of people. There are other people who tell us that they have been searching for a change, searching for something, and then they find SAAMA, and maybe they don't even have the money, and they're 1 week away from the workshop, and they have made up this decision that they will go to this SAAMA workshop, and then the money appears. That's life. Everything is a miracle in life. It is a very, very challenging thing, because we have learned that life, it's mechanical. We come from this Newtonian way of thinking where everything is mechanical and everything can be measured and can be weighted and can be placed into a certain category, and then suddenly SAAMA it's within this quantum, this quantum field of possibilities, and then everything changes in your life because you realize that nothing was like they told us. Actually, it's not exactly like that, because yes, you can have a dog, and you can weigh the dog, and you can measure the dog, and you can see how old the dog is. There's things in one of the levels of life where Newton mechanics work perfectly well. Our whole life is based on that, and it works. But it works on a certain level, and it's only a very tiny percentage of reality. All this reality that we can measure with the Newtonian techniques, it's 0.0000001% of what what life is. The rest of it, we don't see it with our eyes. It's there. And you think, if I don't see it, how can it be there? And I say, well, what you can see, it's a very tiny bit of the spectrum. Lots of animals see things that we don't see, or hear things that we don't see. With SAAMA, what you do is you get in touch. You can see, not see with your eyes, but you can see the energy by measuring energy with our technique. And then you can talk to a tree, and you can talk to a space, and then you can talk to a star, and then you can talk to yourself in a past life. You can talk to yourself in the future, because obviously there is no past, present, and future. We look at time as a linear thing, but if you put it up, instead of horizontal, you put it vertical, everything is happening at the same moment. And you can access any of these levels with SAAMA. As I told you before, you can do anything you can imagine. Anything that you can imagine, you can apply SAAMA to it, and then you will get results. Sometimes you will get better results, sometimes you will get lesser results, but you will always get a result. Did SAAMA change my life? You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. SAAMA changed me, changed my environment, changed my family, changed my whole life, the way I look at life. SAAMA somehow took me to A Course in Miracles. SAAMA has made possible the life that I live, and the thousands of friends that I have, and the health that I enjoy, and the happiness that I have every single day of my life. It doesn't matter if it's 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm always so happy, and I'm always so grateful. And my mission, it's to expand SAAMA as much as I can. One day they will come for me and they will take me away, and that's it. My job is done, and I don't know what's going to happen. But at the moment, my whole life at the moment, it's from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed and beyond. I think that beyond when I sleep, it's focused only on expanding SAAMA and teaching SAAMA to people, teaching SAAMA how to use, teaching people how to use SAAMA, and making possible this new life for everyone. I mean, at the end of the day, our mission is to help others. When your mission is to help others and you do it, happiness comes automatically. When happiness comes automatically, then abundance comes automatically, because upstairs they are going to give you all the tools, everything you need to keep on doing your job. So there is no lack of money, there is no lack of health, there is no lack of support from other people. It's just living like a dream life. But it changes everybody's life for the better, absolutely. If I had to, you want me to resume like what SAAMA is in just one, okay, I know no limits.